Tailgate talking on a Sunday afternoon. So let's call up the boys, bring a case or two, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. I know we were tailgate talking on a Sunday afternoon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Tailgate Talk. My name is Brandon. I got my boy Chris to my right, and I feel like this is just the same we always do. Got a very special guest today joining us.
Very special guest today.
This one's very special.
Very special guest, dog.
He's one of El Paso's top football athletes. He's a coach. He's a trainer. This guy has built an impressive career, being named El Paso Offensive MVP and Player of the Year while playing receiver at Eastwood High School. He also went to UTEP, and he's becoming one of the top-ranked flag football quarterbacks in the world. He's earned invitations to Team USA. He's won state, national, and he's won championships in flag football, and now he's helping develop the next generation of athletes through his training program, which is called On the Grind. Whether it's quarterbacks, receivers, DBs, or flag football players, this guy's dedicated to helping athletes maximize their potential both on and off the field. Today we're going to talk about his journey in El Paso, his journey from El Paso to elite competition, the rise of flag football, what it takes to compete at the highest levels, and the mindset that separates good athletes from great ones. So without further ado, Richie Rodriguez, welcome to the podcast, bro.
Welcome to the pod, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
It's been a long one fucking coming, bro. Honestly, I'm excited to get this one done.
That was all one big fucking
I know,
intro.
dude.
I don't know why I wrote so much.
You wrote a shit ton.
I should have just been like, yo, we got this guy. Boom, let's go.
He's a freak athlete. Well, we're going to get to know him a little bit.
Yeah, that would have been a good.
But yeah, thanks again, bro, for, taking time out of your day to come out and freaking help us with the podcast. We appreciate it. You got a very interesting story, man. And I've been privy to have seen you as an athlete since we were little kids, and I feel like every guest that I've had on.
Yeah, it's just you just know everybody.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, man. I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of great athletes, so that's really cool when it comes to doing things like this. But
and it's cool, bro. Before he says what he's gonna say, I feel like when we started doing these podcasts, obviously we've gotten so many great guests to come on, and we say all of their stats, and we kind of told each other, let's not like just focus on the numbers. Like we already know what they've done. I'm sure they know what they've done, and yeah, it's cool to like go back and look at it, right? But when I went to go look at your stats in high school, bro, what the fuck, man? I was like, Jesus, dude, this guy was, what the fuck?
yeah, he's and like we see like his football stats, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I've known him for a very long time. This dude is not only a freak athlete on the football field, bro, but you put him on a baseball diamond when we were younger. You put him on the wrestling mat.
Honestly, thought that was gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like, yo, he's a freak.
That's crazy.
Damn, Chris.
That was a freak, bro. That's fucking crazy, dog.
Jesus.
So yeah, like I was saying before, I was really fucking interrupted by this guy. He was a great baseball player. That's actually how we met, right?
Yep.
We played baseball for the Texas Tribe.
Yep.
And then at that time, I started wrestling a couple years, and then you came along, and Coach Rico mentioned it to you. He's like, "Hey, you want to come wrestle?" And you're like, "Let's do it."
Yep. Yep.
And
exactly.
what's crazy about this guy is that, so when you start wrestling and it's your first year, you're a rookie, right? There's what's called a rookie state championship. So it's the day before the actual state championship. The actual state championship, it doesn't matter how many years you've wrestled. Like it's the best guys in every weight class in the state.
Oh, cool.
Well, this dude went and competed in the rookie state championship, and he won it. Beat the shit out of everybody, bro. So he was the best rookie in the state that year. Well, then he goes in the next day and mops the floor with everybody else.
Oh,
So not only was he the best rookie in his weight class in that year, he was also the best wrestler, period, in the state of Texas that year.
That's crazy.
And I think you won state like 2 or 3 times, correct?
Yeah, 3. Yep.
So when I tell you this guy's a freaking athlete, bro, it's insane. Like I actually before we even got on here, like I was telling my wife, she's like, "Who are you gonna have on?" I was like, "My buddy Richie," and she's like, "Oh, the guy you tell me that if you put him to do anything on a field or anything with athletic, he'll freaking do it." I was like, "Yeah, give this guy a fucking Rubik's cube. This dude will solve that shit, bro. It's crazy."
Get in the car, bro. NASCAR. Fuck
Yeah, bro.
No, you
this
see,
guy-
he might give me a little too much credit on that. I don't know about no Rubik's cube, but yeah, for sure. So I don't know about that, but
So just
yeah.
to open up, bro, I know we kind of like got the feels out. We're talking here. Opening up with the first question for people who don't know you, who is Richie Rodriguez beyond football?
That's a good question. I think it's child of God. That's first thing. I want to be known as a great father, a great man in general. Besides the football thing and anything on the field, that's cool. But that doesn't define me. I think what does define me is what God says about me and what He has about my plan, and that's just kind of the way I try to live my life. be a good man. You know, like I've known Chris, he's known me for a very long time. We've known each other about our upbringings. Just me growing up without a dad for a little bit, so he wasn't a part of my life as much. So being in a single household with my mom and just my brother, and then just, you know, grinding it out every day. It was just like always trying to figure it out. We were on the go. It was never, you never really stopped to think of like where you're at. And that's something that I've gotten a lot better at, is pretty much just being where my feet are, being present and enjoying the moment, and just being a good time to be around.
Love that, bro.
And you bring up being a father, man.
Mhm.
And obviously I knew you before you were a father, and you know, you've always had this athletic mindset. You know, it's kill or be killed, if you'd say.
Yep.
And you've always been very, very competitive. You've always been very driven. The day you become a father, did that do anything different to you, to your mentality? Did that soften you up because you have a little girl? Did that soften you up some, or did that amplify that, you know, that dog that's in you, that the will to compete? Did that amplify it, or was it kind of like it mellowed me out just a little bit?
I think the best of everything. It mellows you out, especially with like having that mentality of like, I don't know, like you just got to be so aggressive or anything like that. It just really, really calms you down, especially having a girl. I think it changed me. It's just like it settled me into a life that's like, you know what, I really got to figure this out. I got to figure this out, not just for me now, it's for her too, and make sure I lay the right floor for her. And I'm just like, you know what, this is what I got to do. I got to make sure she gets everything she needs, she wants, and provide that. I'm a provider now, you know. So that's always been something, but then it also lit like a little fire underneath, and it was like, okay, well, what's next? Like, what do I want to accomplish that I have been putting off for so long? And it was, you know what, okay, let's go try out for Team USA. Let's go do that. Let's go show her that anything you set your mind to, that you can accomplish. And maybe I fell a little short about that, but I also became the best version of myself doing that by eating right, sleeping right, doing all the little things that I needed to do. So it was something that was just a blessing in disguise, because at first it was like a shock. It was like, dang, like what's happening? Like it's just coming at me so fast. But then it was like,
for sure.
you know what? Let's get the ball rolling, and let's start making stuff happen. You know.
One thing I love that you said, bro, and I brought this up in several podcasts. My favorite movie is Back to the Future, and my favorite quote comes from that movie, and it says, "If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything." So I love that you said that. I love that you became a better man because of your daughter, not just like on the field, but you as a man. So I love hearing that, man. Like stuff like that, like us three can attest to it. You know, we're all fathers here, and once you do have that whether it's a boy or a girl, you know, like your life does change. You know, and you see life from a different lens. I've even said to like my clients, like, not that I didn't love my parents, but you just appreciate them like 10 times more when you become a parent.
1000%.
You know, like you might grow up and like, why doesn't my mom's mean? She doesn't let me do this. My dad this, you know. And you become a father and you're like, damn, like now I know why. Now when my son's like, hey, can I go spend the night somewhere? I'm like, no. Like you have a house, bro. Like you have a roof over your head. But when I would ask my mom, can I go spend the night somewhere? She'd be like, that's pendejo.
To you, it was the end of the fucking world.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, it's crazy, like you bring that up and stuff like that. And I remember my dad would tell me when I was younger, like, hey, like there's going to come a time when you become a father that you're going to look back at this moment and you're going to be like, damn, like my dad was right. Like those like, dang, you know, like holy shit moments. And dude, like since I become a father, like I've had plenty of those, bro. And I know it brings him a little bit of joy, like me going back and telling him what's going on and be like, yeah, I remember you told me this when I was younger. He's like, yeah, didn't I tell you were going to come back one of these days and tell me? Like, yeah, you're all right, Dad?
Yeah.
So that's crazy, man.
So just to get back on the topic of the pod, I love how we kind of went.
The convo goes where it
it's
goes.
Easy.
Bro.
Yeah, it's easy,
That's
bro.
why it's called the tailgate talk, bro. We can sit here and talk about all sorts of things.
Exactly.
Of course.
But looking back at your accomplishments, what achievement are you personally most proud of, and why?
Man, I know it's gonna sound cliche and everything, but I'm telling you, it's like, it's just being a good dad. Like that's my biggest thing. That's all I strive for, is just to be the best dad that I can be. You know, eventually be the best partner that I can be for whoever that I'm with. And I'm just setting myself up for that. Yeah, that's really, I mean, like I said, it's all nice to have all those accolades and everything, but at the end of the day, that really doesn't do much.
What I love about this guy, bro, is like we brought him here obviously because of the sports, and he just made it about being a dad. And I don't know you, bro, but I just respect you.
I appreciate
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's cool for me. Like you know, like knowing him mainly as like a friend first and foremost,
Yeah.
but as an athlete as well. It's been a while since me and you have sat down and talked, you know, and
Yeah.
so I think it was even the last time we talked was before you had your daughter. So
Yeah.
like getting to sit, like sitting down here and talking to you, bro, and just hearing how your mentality has changed, bro, like to me, like it makes me real happy, man. You know,
No,
to
I
see you,
appreciate
like
that.
to see you, myself, you know, growing into being fathers and you know, role models to our kids and stuff like that. It's awesome to see, bro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
That's
I
cool, bro.
really
So
do.
just to start off with your story real quick, you grew up in El Paso. When did you realize that football could become something for you?
Oh man, I want to say probably my sophomore, probably going into my junior year in high school. That's when I was like, you know what? If I really stick to this, I think if I can build around and really hit the gym and focus on what I need to do, really do think I can make something out of this. And I was like, so going after my sophomore year, I had a good sophomore year, but I needed to take that next step, and I just said, well, what is it? What's going to take me to that next step? It's going to be playing both ways. It's going to be able to, you know, I still wanted to do wrestling, so I ended up doing wrestling my junior year. Um, and then I hit the weight room. I did track, and I just stuck to it. I didn't do anything else. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to focus on football and track. And I went into the gym, and that's really the way I lived. I just lived that. And so at that moment, that's when I was like, you know what? Okay, let's really stick to this, and let's try and figure this out. Maybe if it's for me, it's for me, you know? God has laid that plan out for me. So in my heart, and that's what I felt like. So that's why I was like, you know what? Let's just do it.
And honestly, I like that you bring up the weight room a lot because when I was coaching at Isleta, I was a volunteer coach there, like 2019, 2020. And a lot of the kids were afraid of the weight room, not in a sense that they didn't want to get in there, do the work. It was more so they're like, oh, it's because my dad or somebody's told me I can't get too big because then I'm not going to be athletic. And then you see posts like Aroldis Chapman. He's a pitcher in the MLB. The dude is freaking stacked like crazy, bro. You obviously can see he spends plenty of time in the weight room.
Yeah.
Look at Myles Garrett, bro.
Yeah, bro. These guys are all huge and they're
Joey
still
Bosa,
and
Nick
they're performing at a high level. There's that stigma that you can't get too big because then it's gonna limit your athletic ability. I mean, we've had Ariel on, we've had Diego Cardenas on, we've had Tovar on. They all emphasize the same thing: the weight room. You know, like being in condition. You're a top level athlete, and you mention the weight room.
Yeah.
So, like for any kids out there that are maybe have that stigma that I just brought up, what's your advice to them?
Yeah, you want to listen to your parents. I mean, I'm not going to say don't listen to your parents, right? That's not what I'm going to come and say.
I'll say it for them. Don't listen to your parents when it comes to that shit.
You know, there's people that are in the positions like are coaches and strength and conditioning coaches, and they have that background for a reason, and what they've done what they do because they're good at it, and they have a lot of experience. And I learned, I really want to say I learned from my head coach, Julio Lopez, who I want to give a shout out to, which was, he was only there for 1 year. I only got to get 1 year with him. He was probably, I think, the youngest head coach in Texas at the time, maybe even, I want to say ever. I think he was like 25 or something like that when he had gotten that coaching job. So he was fresh. He had just gotten out of college. He was a GA, and he was just always in the weight room. And he kind of just got that into my head. It was just like, you know what, hey, get in the gym. Like, you know, you got to be stronger. Because I was just like the skinnier guy, you know, sophomore, junior year, I was skinnier. And I was like, you know what, let's put on some weight. Let's put on some strength. And it just made me feel even better. It made me, like, my mentality better. I just felt better at every little aspect of the game. I felt stronger. My mentality went up. Everything, I'm telling you, everything just skyrocketed. As soon as I started putting myself and hitting myself to the gym, everything took care of itself.
And that kind of leads me into my next question. You were named El Paso Offensive MVP and Player of the Year. I don't know if that was your junior year or senior year.
My junior year was the Offensive Player of the Year, and then I believe my senior year was the overall MVP.
Overall MVP?
Yeah.
So would you say that's what separated you from, the pack? Because there was a lot of good high school players that went like when you were in high school. Gosh. So in order to, for you to, to receive that kind of award, you're the best.
Yeah.
It's definitely. Do you think the weight room was it just the weight room, or was there other things to that kind of separated you from the rest of the pack?
No, I was in a very good position. I was put in a very good position with the the offense I was in. My coach just believed in me, so I got a lot of opportunities. I mean, I had a great quarterback in the same spot too. So Mark was awesome. I mean, he threw me the ball so many times that he probably didn't even need to throw me the ball sometimes, and I would just go up and make a great catch. So I was really like a security blanket to him in
Same
a
vice
way.
versa?
Yeah, exactly. And I knew like he's gonna throw it to me on certain downs, so I'm always doing that. So I was just put in a really good position.
It's like, fuck it, Richie's down there
somewhere, bro.
Right.
Just air it out, bro.
No, yeah, I mean he had a cannon, so I knew he could go anywhere on the field. He could throw the ball anywhere he wanted to. So I was put in a really good position. I want to say like, obviously without God first, you know, God is the greatest, and without Him, none of that's possible.
Amen.
You know, so
Before we get the next question, you mind turning that down just a tad, bro?
The fam?
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be too freaking loud. Sorry, guys. Quick little intermission. We're known for technical difficulties on this podcast.
That's what we should name the pod.
Technical difficulties.
That'd be fire. TDs.
Yeah, no shit. Oh, that's actually a good one, bro.
So, next question was talking about coach or mentor. You've already mentioned him, so I'm just going to skip. Is there any setbacks you ever faced during high school for your football career? Not just football, say wrestling or track?
yeah. Oh man, I've always faced like trials and tribulations, man. It's been a part of my life, and I think that's really what has made me the person I am today. Definitely because not everything has gone my way, but that never steered my faith into anything wrong or anything in a bad spot. I always believe that everything was meant to happen, and if God put this in front of me and He said that's not for me, then I got to trust His plan. And at the end of the day, that's really just what has kept my faith going. Is just, you know what, even though I can't see His plan for me, I believe He laid something out for me that's greater than what I think is best for me. He has a better plan for me, and I have always thought like that. So, you know, a perfect example would be like not making Team USA. I put myself in a great position. I dropped about 19 pounds in a couple months. I got into shape. I was training every day, missing time with my daughter. Like, I dedicated myself to this. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just put my best foot forward, and, you know, God has put this in my heart, and that's what I want to do. So I did that. Came up short. I got great messages from the coaches. They give you a call at the end. It's like a call. They talk to you if you make the team or not. Really just, it was a great conversation. He talked to me. He's like, hey, man, you know, everything was great. He said you played well. He said we had you at the top of the leaderboard. Everybody had you at probably number 1 quarterback, number 2 quarterbacks for the camp. He was like, unfortunately, we're going to go a different route. So I was like, wait, what? Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Like, I was caught off guard. I was like, so I did everything like the way you said. Like, I was a good leader. I had great red zone plays. Like, I came into shape. I was a good character. I had good character. I had everything like that you guys were looking for. But at the end of the day, they were just like, yeah, we're just going to go a different route. And I was like, all right, well, you know, thank you. I appreciate it. I was hurt. Told them I was hurt. You know, I did invest myself into this, but wished them luck. And I said, you know, hope you guys make the right decision. It is what it is. And that was just another thing. And I was like, you know what, maybe it's just not for me.
Yeah.
So, you know, and other opportunities have started to present itself. And, you know, so maybe there might even be like another thing where now I might go try out for Team Mexico. So,
Hey.
yeah, be really cool, right?
That'd be sick.
Nice little way to try and get back or something, you know, I have a little chip on my shoulder. So something like that. I'm definitely motivated, excited, but yeah, like that's just a thing. Like that's just another example of like keeping my faith and trusting in Him and realizing, you know what, okay, maybe this Team USA thing isn't for me, but now a Team Mexico thing or a coaching thing is popping up, or, you know, maybe, I don't know, we'll see something else. So just trusting His plan and sticking to it.
So now that we're on that topic, we've been fortunate enough to have, you're the third athlete that we have on this pod that I'm going to ask this to.
Okay.
And we asked Ariel and we asked Acevedo what it means to wear USA across your chest.
Man, it's bigger than you. It's just like, you know, it's something that you can't really put into words, that you feel. You just like, sometimes you feel overwhelmed with emotion, you know, even just like being at the trials and competing against the best and seeing the top level athletes and comparing yourself and seeing like where you measure up, and it's just no better feeling than like making yourself the best version of yourself, like, you know. And so that's always been like something that I look forward to. So wearing that across my chest has been like, it gives me even goosebumps right now. Like I get goosebumps just like thinking about it. I'm just like, man, I love doing it. It's a thrill. So it's always so much fun, and I'm forever grateful just having that opportunity, just to be able to say like, you know what, I was a part of the top 48. I was put in the top 24, you know, or the top 20 athletes. I didn't make the cut, but maybe I missed it by 1 or 2 people, but
Like you're there.
I'm right there.
Yeah.
I'm right there.
And this is for the whole country, right? Like
The whole country.
So like to get invited to try out for Team USA, is it like invite only, or like anybody's able to go and try out?
No, yeah, definitely. You have to get invited. You have to get scouted. You have to do your digital combine.
So there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. So it's not like you can just, hey, you know what, this is my name. I play for this thing. This is my accolades, and am I invited? No, it's like, okay, well, that's one step. Now it's like, okay, come to the tournaments, get scouted by these people, or you can go to combines, and they have like adult ID combines. Then they have like the big national tournaments, world tournaments. So like if you do well there, they scout you.
Yeah,
They'll bring you on.
Cool deal. So let's just take a whole step back, right?
Yeah.
UTEP. You ultimately played for UTEP. Is there anything? Was there any other offers on the table for you?
Oh man, no. I had it's actually a funny story. I had no offers going into my senior year. So I had a good junior year. Senior year was I didn't have anybody really. And the way I got scouted was we Eastwood had a scrimmage at UTEP. So we had just a regular scrimmage against each other. We called it blue and gold. And sure enough, I played well. I just a regular practice, you know.
Yeah.
And that was always the thing that I tried to take with me, was like, you never know who's watching. And that's something that maybe we could talk about later or something.
Sure.
But you never know who's watching. You never know what opportunity is going to present itself. And as long as you're always prepared and doing the right things, it'll come along. So as we're practicing, I have a great practice. I'm playing multiple positions. We're headed home and we're on the bus. And my head coach calls me. So I'm like, damn. Like he's calling me, I'm on the bus. I'm like, damn, I did something. I don't know what. If he's calling me 5 minutes after, I'm like,
You're thinking back like, what the fuck?
yeah, like
did I do something wrong?
What did I do? He rarely calls you, so he calls me and I'm like, damn, should I pick up or should I wait till I get home? I'm like, all right, whatever. I just answer it. He's like, well, it looks like we're gonna have to come back. He's like, we're gonna have to come back, me and you. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, the head coach at the time was Coach Sean Kugler. He was like, Coach Kugler was in the weight room while we were practicing, and he was watching, and he wants to offer you a full scholarship.
Holy shit.
Just like that, boom.
He said he saw what he saw us practicing. He liked what he saw. He said, and he wants to offer you a full scholarship. I said, what? I was like, tripped out. I was like, what? Like,
I can only imagine the feeling, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like on the bus, and I'm like not trying to be too excited because like all my teammates are around me, and I'm not trying to like vote it or like make anything about it. But I'm like, damn, like I just, you know, I can't wait to get home, tell my mom, tell my brother, my dad. I'm like, man, I want to just go. Like, so yeah, it was really, that's how it happened. And it was just crazy to think about. Like, I didn't even know the guys upstairs in the weight room. And, you know, like the UTEP weight room, you can see straight,
right?
Yeah.
Oversees
you
the
can see
field.
straight into it. So we were there practicing, and he saw the whole practice and just offered me
Like
right
what he
there.
saw? That's awesome. Imagine you didn't answer that phone call.
Right? Right. Well, yeah, he
The
probably
coach
would
would have
have
been
called me later.
blowing you up like, bro,
Yeah.
answer your damn phone.
You would have got another call after that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Then I knew I would have had to answer.
Dang, but honestly, that's surprising to me though that you weren't heavily recruited. I mean, you were all state in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I want to bring up the fact that you're quote unquote undersized, right?
For
You're,
sure.
What are you, 5'10"?
For sure.
So for a receiver and for you know, an El Paso, and that's not, you know, that doesn't meet the eye test when
No.
it comes to, you know, Division I football. So for like the fact that you were offered the full ride to UTEP like on the spot like that kind of surprises me that other coaches didn't see what your coach at UTEP saw.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
What was that jump like from high school to D1 ball?
It's like a job. It goes from, you know, being mama's boy to now you're on your own. Like you
Get it done.
yeah, you got to get this done now. It's all on. You got to go to class. You got to wake up for your meetings. You got to wake up for weight room, for conditioning, for practice. You got to make sure your body's right. You got to eat the right things. You got to feed yourself. You're in a dorm. So it goes from being mama's boy to the real world now. Like, this is what you're put into this spot, and now you got to adjust on the fly. So that was my biggest thing was, okay, now I'm on my own. Yeah, I'm 20, 30 minutes away from my mom, and I call her or anything like that, but I got to figure this out now. So it's time, like, okay, how am I going to get adjusted to this? Like, how do I get acclimated to this? Like, what am I going to do? So I just put myself in a good position. What sucked is that I was just very injury prone. I became injury prone in college, so I don't have the stats to like back up what I did in high school and to show like, dang, I could have been one of those. And Aaron Jones, that's somebody that I chased after, that I saw and that I admired, and the way people treated him, and that was something that I looked up to. And I couldn't do it. My body didn't hold up. I would get hurt at practice, or I had a partial tear my Achilles on my knee. I dealt with hamstring issues, so always something. But I would get back and then
Get hurt.
another injury. Like, we were gonna go play Oklahoma. I was like in the rotation to be on the starting team, so I'm working with the 1s and 2s, and we're doing walkthroughs, and walkthroughs are kind of just still full speed, but no pads, nothing like that. And I went just to do like a double move and popped my ankle, just random, like stuff like that. And I'm just like, man,
what's going on?
Yeah.
So
What's going
this
on?
leads to a question I have right here. Was there ever a time you questioned whether football was still worth pursuing?
Oh, for sure. Oh, 100%. I think I still think about that to this day. I'm already like, all right, I think I'm going to retire soon. You know, I'm going to just be a full-time dad. And, you know, at the end of the day, if I'm around the sport, all right, cool. But I think I just want to, I've already thought about it sometime. I'm giving myself a time frame of where I want to be done with it. I want to be a guy that's playing long after he shouldn't be playing. And, you know, I want to go out on top. That's something that I want to do.
Oh, that makes sense, man. I think like any high level athlete, like that's always the goal, right?
Yeah.
Any athlete, period. You know, like if your moment in the sun is high school football or high school baseball, high school basketball, whatever the case may be. You know, like everyone wants to go out and have good memories of them leaving a sport. You know? Like no one wants to have like me. Unfortunately, like when my college career ended on an injury.
Yeah.
You know, so like how you kind of brought up that you still think about those things to this day. You know, like.
To this
day. You know, yeah, so that's I mean, I can relate to that, and so I can understand why you want to, you know, kind of go out on your own terms.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're gonna kind of jump into flag football. You know, like you go from tackle football at the Division I level. You know, you brought up Aaron Jones. You know, coming from Utah. I believe he graduated the year that you were going to be a freshman, right?
Correct. Yeah, I didn't get to play with him.
That's crazy. Well, shout out to Aaron Jones. If you want to come on the podcast, bro, let us know. We'd love to have you.
We'll see.
So then you go. So when you're done playing Division I football at UTEP, you know, what's the kind of that transition period between that and you finding flag football? Because I mean, relatively, flag football is more of it's a newer sport, right? It's been around for a very long time, but for whatever reason, it's kind of exploding right now.
It's an Olympic sport now.
It's an Olympic sport now. You know, there's female flag football in high schools now. It's not. I know it's not sanctioned in UIL, but it's in the process of getting there, and I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
You know, like what was that time in between that, and what led you to flag football?
I think it was more like, you know, my mind was telling me like, you're not done. You're not done with the sport. Like, you still got a lot to give.
Is it that competitive itch?
Yeah, I still had it. You know, I'm still young. I could still, you know, go play tournaments and still feel like, you know, still feel young again still. And I think that was probably the biggest thing was like, I wanted to stay active, wanted to just stay close to the sport. And that was the only thing I could do unless I go to maybe like an arena or like a CFL. Or XFL. Something like that. But even those are hard opportunities to come by. So I was like, you know what, you know, I'll just stick to this and let's see where it takes me. You know, I wasn't even really thinking of like, oh, I'm going to try and, you know, go play pro flag football. And I wasn't thinking of anything like that. And now all of that is just like presenting itself. And there's pro league starting now in 2027. So there's going to be like a Team Texas. And that's something that I definitely have my eyes set on and my goals. So that will be like a thing where I do want to try and take over. And I have a great opportunity to do that. Obviously the Team Mexico thing. And I don't even want to give up on the Olympics yet. I don't. I know that there's a lot of things.
This past year, you were the second ranked quarterback in the world.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I don't see why you would think that you couldn't compete at that level, especially for Team USA.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, who was the one quarterback in front of you?
So there's a guy in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a guy in Florida. He's well known. He's been in the game for a long time, so he's been at the top for a long time too. So it's more like he's just been there and stayed there,
Yeah,
and
he's
nobody's been able to take him off. And now I'm just
Quote unquote veteran.
veteran. Yeah, definitely. And that's where I'm just starting to like barely get my feet wet and start getting into this groove now, and where I'm like, okay, now I'm competing, now I'm beating these guys, and now I'm playing against him. And I played him in the championship for a couple divisions. We've gone back and forth, but yeah, he's just a great quarterback, and his name's Mark.
Mark.
Mark. What a coincidence, right? Another
Yeah,
quarterback named Mark.
You're like fucking Mark.
Right, I can't skip the name, man.
Can't get away from the QB's name Mark.
No,
bro.
just great quarterbacks named Mark for some reason.
For any of you parents out there that want to raise a quarterback, a phenom quarterback, just probably go ahead and just name him Mark.
Name him Mark.
Off the
Name him
rip,
Mark.
and he'll probably get D1 offers just at birth.
Yep, there it is.
So one question that kind of sparked my interest right now. You obviously played receiver in high school and in college.
Yeah.
What made that transition to quarterback in flag?
So I could always throw the ball. I could always throw it. So I played like a wildcat package. That's what people would call it in high school. So it was like I would go to the quarterback, our quarterback would go to receiver, and I would do like some different reads. It was just different looks for defenses, and I still would throw off those packages. And so when we played flag, it's a lot faster. So we don't get blocks. Like you don't have like linemen blocking for you. So these guys are a yard off the line, and there's two people rushing you every play.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So our quarterback didn't like doing that. He was like, "No, bro, like you go do it. Like you're faster, and like you like to do it." So I was like, I already like the ball in my hand, so I'm
Say
like,
less.
yeah, you know what?
Say less.
Cool.
You know, it's funny when you said I could throw the ball. I thought of Uncle Rico. Throw that ball over
Over that bound, over that.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Said someone, bro.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, so I guess you could just say that was it wasn't anything like I tried to take over. It was just like we switched and just stuck with it, and
But goes to what you said about being a freak athlete.
Yeah, dude.
He's been playing
I mean-
D1 ball, being a receiver, and then here I am, one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the
Was
world.
one of the top quarterbacks in the world,
Something like.
I mean, it's surprising to me, to be honest, because this dude threw the baseball like a little female. Not just fucking with you, bro.
I probably
I was all
did.
mad because he's like fucking 2 years younger than me, throwing the ball harder than me. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I dedicate myself to this shit, bro. How this guy just comes out fucking just throws the ball harder than me? Like, damn, all right.
So, I mean, obviously this question's going to answer itself, but just to hear you answer it, how different is international flag football compared to what people see here locally?
Man, it's night and day. You'll see it's night and day. It's because, well, one, it's the rules. There's different sets of rules, so it's like it's not much contact. It's more of an offensive game than defensive game. Two, it's like you just see all the athletes, the chemistry that these teams have, that the plays, the schemes, and if you can't fit into that and you're not dedicating your body and your mind and everything to this game, it will expose you. And it's like, it's crazy, like, to even think about. Like, even myself, the first year that I had went to Worlds, man, I'm like just starstruck. I'm like, damn, like these guys are, like these guys are moving, and I'm like, okay, so I really gotta, I gotta get back to who I was. So year 2 came around, I was okay. Now I'm starting to win. Now I'm starting to figure this out. Year 3 came around, I was like, okay, now I'm here. Now I know what to expect, and it's just, if you don't dedicate yourself and you're not doing that and you don't have like the love for this sport, it's gonna show. It's gonna show you from the people that really take time and put all the work into this. And you see it. Like, I follow so many athletes like around the world, and they're daily like working out. Like, they wake up, work out, they go to work, they're working out after work, like they're eating right, like they're prepping. Like, it's crazy.
It's like having 2 full-time jobs.
Exactly.
That's crazy. And like, I mean, sorry to cut you off, but like you bring up like, the difference between local and international. I want to bring up the local part.
Okay.
Because to be honest, every time I see you post something about flag football, it's you and your teammates holding up a championship. Like, do you guys ever lose, bro? Like here locally?
No, yeah, we lose.
'Cause honestly, I know for a fact, bro. Like you're the head honcho when it comes to El Paso flag football specifically.
Yeah.
And I think I'm confident enough to say you can even extend outwards into like New Mexico, Arizona, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I did see a video of you guys calling out like other teams to come and play you guys. To me, I love shit like that, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like
Well,
it's like there's a difference between being cocky
and confident.
and confident, right? I think everybody should be confident, right? Especially if you're an athlete at any kind of level, you have to have confidence in yourself and your abilities, right? What I do hate is when people are cocky and it's like without reason. It's like, you're cocky for what? You know what I mean? I'd kind of put up with this dude being cocky when it's like he's whooping everyone's ass here locally, but then you go and he plays against the top guys in the world, and he's number 2 at his position. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all the love you get and stuff like that, bro. It's awesome to see from somebody that knows you. And has that like straight up, has that got into your head a little bit? Has that humbled you? Like, what has that done for you? All this success and all this notoriety that you get locally.
Well, I think it just goes back to just like not letting that define me. It goes back to, it doesn't really matter what people say about me. It's what God says about me and what kind of man I am and who I am off the field. And, people can get the bad impressions of how competitive I am on the field, and they can have that I guess that mental note about me is like, oh man, he's a jerk or whatever. But really, when they get to know me, like, I think I go back to this one thing where I don't remember. I think it was Tom Holland. He had said something like, "If you have a problem with me, like, text me, and if you don't have my number, then you don't know me well enough to talk bad about me."
That's
It's
actually a really good fucking saying. Holy
yeah, and it's really good. And I've always lived. As soon as I heard that, I was like, man, I love that. Like, because you can't. You're at first. You're never gonna please everybody. That's just the way it is. But I would say, going back to, because I do want to touch on that subject, is that I didn't always win. I didn't come into the sport just winning. Flag football, I lost a lot. So, and I learned from a lot of people. I learned from, I'll even give credit to the people that I learned from, and it's Jason Donaldson, Ernest Raya, who for a lot of people is the GOAT for El Paso flag football. I learned a lot from Justin Vasquez. I've learned a lot from a lot of QBs, and I played under a lot of different offenses and defenses, and I kind of just molded into mine and figured out what I liked, what fits my scheme, what fits my mentality, and I ran with it. And I lost to these guys growing up all the time, and I was like, damn, like,
when am I gonna beat these dudes?
yeah, I'm 22 years old, losing to 30-year-olds, and I'm like, it's not making sense. Like, these guys are too old. Like,
tell me these guys are more athletic than me?
right.
Losing
So,
to Unk?
yeah, I was like, I was getting frustrated, and I was like, man, like, what the heck is going on? And so I finally figured out the game, and so I do want to give them their flowers, especially to those that laid out the foundation before me, and I got to see all that stuff. So it's been really cool, and I'm grateful for. And yeah, I didn't just come into the game just dominated right off the bat.
Yeah, to earn yours.
Definitely. I definitely earned my stripes, and I took my losses on the chin, and and I've always learned that success is nothing without failure, because the more that you fail, the more you're learning, the more that you become better, and the more that you don't make those mistakes again.
Yeah, like I like that you say that. It reminds me of Conor McGregor. I think everyone knows who Conor McGregor is.
Yep.
His coach and him had a saying, it's you either win or learn.
Yep.
And it's part of.
That's life.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's part of not only sports but life, and that's what I love about sports in general. Especially here in El Paso, man. Like sometimes it's all kids have here. It's a lot of kids come from rough upbringings and kind of similar to yours. To an extent, and they find sports and they find they find sports and they find life. I want to say, because we're kind of rambling about, like, you freaking go through sports. You have the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. You have injuries. You have whatever the case may be that kind of makes you have some stumbles or bumps in the road, and that teaches you a lot about yourself and how you're gonna respond to adversity. It's either you're gonna get up and not take no for an answer, or you're gonna kind of just fold. So like sports kind of just shows you who you really are as a person, and I love that shit, dude. So
yeah, definitely.
For sure. So we're talking about like being like mental toughness and right, being tough. How do you deal with pressure when everybody expects you to perform?
I try not to think that there's nobody expects more out of me than me. Like I put the most pressure on myself, so And I believe that preparation and doing all the little things right is what takes pressure off you. Because at the end of the day, if you put the right work in and you put all the little things and you do all the little things right, pressure is really nothing because you've already rehearsed it. You've already done everything behind the scenes, and the rewards are going to come. So, you know,
like
that
saying, pressure makes diamonds.
yeah, pressure makes diamonds. But it's really just the preparation that makes diamonds. And people like will put pressure on you, and yeah, they'll say, oh, they expect this and that, but maybe sometimes it could happen, you know? Like what do they say? A dead clock is right twice a day. Sometimes it does fall into your lap. But it's not gonna happen unless, for a majority of people, unless you work for that. And you put yourself in the right position and you do the right things behind the scenes. And that's when you become the best version of yourself and you become the best person. So I think that's the best way to handle pressure.
I like that. A dead clock's right twice a day. My boy's coming with all the bars, bro.
Right.
My boy's just spitting today, bro.
Right, here we go.
I gotta get back in the lab, and you know,
Bro, you gotta get back in the lab and kind of, yeah, my shit ain't hitting right now,
The
bro.
one-liners? Yeah.
The one-liners, bro.
Damn. I'm watching too many podcasts. I was preparing for this.
You're getting mentally prepared in the car and
Yep.
here.
Yep.
So we talk about, like we said, mental toughness and stuff. Like, what's your definition of being mentally tough?
Not letting anything break you, you know? No matter what life throws at you, being able to overcome adversity, no matter what life throws at you, you're able to stay down, stay true to what you believe in and what you think that God has laid out for you, and being able to block out all the noise, block out all the bumps in the road, and being able just to stay down and keep your head down, stay on the grind, and you know.
And we're about to get into that, man.
Just to get into that, right on the grind.
Yeah, and what lesson from football, or not just football, sports in general,
Yep.
applies directly to life and business?
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Facts.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
100%.
So, you know,
That's why we get all these good podcast guests, bro.
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, guys.
Right.
I just know a lot of good people that know what they're talking about.
And
so.
he gets great guests, and he has great podcasts, and you guys do great things. So
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate you,
I've
bro.
been watching all of them, and they're awesome. I think that's just I think that's the truth. Is not what you know, it's who you know. Building relationships, being a good person, keeping your head down, and great opportunities will come and present themselves.
And this kind of ties back to what you were saying when you were talking about you earning your scholarship. You know, like always walking the walk, right? Not just walking the walk when people are watching. You know, it's what you do in the dark that, you know, comes to light and what really matters. You know, whether you're preparing for a sporting event or whatever the case, preparing for a test, preparing for whatever the case may be. You know, a job interview. Like if you're doing things right all the time, people are going to see that. And when people see that, they're going to relate to that.
Yeah.
And the more people you can relate to and the more people that, you know, are attracted to your mindset, whatever the case may be, you know, the more people you're going to meet and the more doors that are going to open for you.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
So now, just to tie back to like how we said, you have a lot of ties here in El Paso, right? Yeah. Obviously now you have your business, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
But how important is it for successful athletes to get back to their hometowns?
I think it's everything, man. I think you just, like for me, it's showing appreciation and giving back to people that are, you know, even the little kids that are growing up that maybe don't have a father figure or don't have the right coaching or preparation. And I've been through the best of the best here, and I've seen it like in the world. Like I've been at the top of the sport, and so being able to offer it and show these kids and show the parents and, you know, even adults that are trying to get into flag football or football and play into whatever is it that they want, and the high school kids, all that stuff. I just want to show them, like, you know what, I have a lot to give back. And that's the best thing that I can think of when I was thinking about this. It wasn't for anything else. It was like, you know what, I have so much knowledge and so much appreciation and love for this sport, and being able to give back is something that made me want to do this.
And I think one thing that made us want to do this podcast is, we've mentioned it before, is if 100 people watch this, if you could like motivate just one person, it just takes one, you know? It takes one person to be like, hey, I watched that Richie pod and like, damn, I'm fucking motivated now. Like, now I want to go, you know?
Yeah,
and then years from now, maybe they make it to wherever they make it and they get to meet you, you know? They're going to be like, dude, like, you're my inspiration. So, I mean, it's like we've always said, it's not a matter of, well, how does that saying go? Not a matter of when, it's a matter of
Not a matter of how, it's a matter of when or something like
Yeah, like it's gonna come to you, bro. Where
Yeah.
You're gonna get, or if you haven't gotten it already, like
Yeah.
people are gonna come to you, but hey, dude, like I look up to you. It's a
Yeah.
tough deal.
No,
And I hope
definitely.
kids do, bro.
Yeah, dude, I
that.
appreciate
And
that.
like you talk about.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there it is.
that's-
There it is.
that's-
Hey,
there it
attaboy.
is.
Attaboy. It's in there somewhere, bro. You
Yeah,
just
sorry.
gotta talk it out.
The one-liner, there it is.
Yeah,
There's your
hey,
one-liner,
bars.
dog.
Hey, bro,
Bars.
why is his one-liners a lot smoother than yours, bro? What's going on?
Bars like Alcatraz.
We're gonna have to get Richie. He's gonna be our third host, bro. Fuck it. We're gonna have to get him on here.
Yeah.
So we're talking about on the grind, right? You're talking about giving back, and you know what's? I had a question for all of us. Like, you know what's? Not really a question, but you know what's really cool, man? Like bringing back Aaron Jones. You know, how every time he scores, he reps the 915, and Richie's talking about, you know, on the grind, wanting to give back to the community. So he, with his knowledge that he has, you know, give it to the youth, and let's see what they can do to potentially give back to El Paso. The one thing I do love about El Paso, bro, in general, is that there's a lot of love from people that leave here, you know, and like they succeed in whatever the case may be. You know, Darren Nais, bro, he's a shortstop for the A's, local America's kids.
Yep.
Richie, Ariel, you know, you guys make it on Team USA. Anthony Acevedo, you know,
I mean,
always
everybody we bought on the pod, bro.
Yeah.
You talk about Alex Reyes and
Justin Maese, yeah,
You know,
like,
now they're giving back. Now they got their own thing going on with Torque.
Yeah.
You know,
and I love that it's gonna, you know, it's giving back to the youth of El Paso specifically, and you know, let's water those seeds and see what blossoms from that. And I hope it's, you know, another NFL guy, another MLB guy,
you know.
whatever the case may be. You know, like I love seeing El Pasoans, you know, talk about El Paso, because we kind of are a little bit of an underrated city.
Sure. And even if it's not like major leaguers or anybody that makes it pro, even if it just motivates these kids to like want to be better, you know, obviously being fathers, right? Like nothing scares me more than my son growing up.
Yeah.
Because it's a shitty world out there, bro. And part of me wanting to keep my son busy with sports is so he doesn't fall in those wrong paths, you know? And he, I mean, obviously not saying that just because you play sports you won't fall, right? But hopefully like sports, I know I speak for myself and I'm sure I speak for all of us here, is like sports kept you wanting to pass your classes. You mentioned the other day when we had Jesus Tovar on, like if you didn't have A's, you couldn't play.
Yeah.
You know, like things like that. Like hopefully that's one thing that I hope, even if it just gives the youth more ambition to just want to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like we're kind of talking about El Paso in general, right? Kind of getting a stigma from outside people, right? Not El Pasoans, but outside people, and a lot of it comes with into play with sports.
Yeah.
You know, like this past year we saw Midland Lee baseball team come and play Eastlake, and this TikTok went viral about them, you know, just
Making fun of
the field and making fun of, you know, El Paso in general and stuff like that. And seeing shit like that pisses me off, you know. I saw a couple of years ago with football specifically with Eastwood.
Yeah.
They go out and they play what's that California school that's nationally ranked every year?
St. John Bosco?
St. John
St. John
Bosco.
Bosco.
And you go to the comments, bro, and it's just flooded with negativity. Like,
why are they playing?
this isn't Texas football. This isn't that. El Paso's now, we don't consider them, you know, part of Texas football and shit like that.
What's crazy, bro? It was probably like 10 years ago. My brother moved out to Fort Worth, and we went to Lowe's because obviously the apartment they moved into didn't have like a washer or dryer, so we went to go buy one. And there's this lady at the desk, right? And she's like, "Oh, like, what are you guys looking for?" We tell her, and they ask my brother, "Where are you guys from?" And my brother says, "El Paso." And she's like, "Oh, like, where's that?
Yeah.
Is that in Texas?" And we were just like, "Bro, what?
What?
Like,
Yeah, it, like,
are
trips
that,
you out, you're like,
yeah,
what?
are you that ignorant? Like, which is crazy because you say like, and yeah, people see El Paso as like the laughing stock of Texas. You know, like that's why we're so far away from everything.
Yeah.
And then it does piss me off because obviously you grow up here, and I have pride for El Paso, bro. You know, like
100%, dude.
I always will, and it does suck. So yeah, any athlete, which goes to lead on to what I'm gonna say, is any athlete that does make it out of El Paso, like you want to follow their careers.
100%,
you know?
bro.
You, even if they might be on teams you hate, you're still gonna cheer for them because why? They made it out of fucking El Chuco, bro.
100%. And it kind of leads me into I know this whole fucking rant.
No, it's all good.
Leading us to this question. You know, what does El Paso football culture have that people outside of the city don't understand?
You know, I think the one thing that it kind of just goes back to your conversation about, like, you know, Eastwood playing St. John Bosco, is that it's a different mentality now. We want to play the best to
See where we stack up.
Exactly. And we're playing, you know, I still consider myself a trooper because at heart, that's where I went, and I'm always supporting them. So when I say I say Eastwood, you know, when we go and we play St. John Bosco, we're like, all right, well, let's strap it up. Let's see where we are, And I think that's the mentality that Coach Lopez has tried to instill into these kids, and it's not like what people have such a small mindset, and they're like, you know what, why are you gonna go play over there? Why are you doing that? Because we want to play the best. We don't want to sit back here and, no disrespect, but we don't want Eastwood to play a 3A or 4A school. Like, what's the point of that? You're trying to play an out of district game so that you try and get experience and see where you are, see where, okay, what can we do? What can we make ourselves a little bit sharper? How can we get a little bit better? How can we measure ourselves up against like an Allen when we play them later on, a DeSoto, schools like that? Those are the teams you're going to see there. You're not going to see an El Dorado. You're not going to see an Americas. You're not going to see those types of schools. So that's why I applaud Coach Lopez, because he's not afraid to, at the end of the day, we might lose. Yeah. He might think that. He might know already in the back of my head. We're going to play against 20 5-star school athletes that are heavily recruited to go play at Alabama and Clemson and
recruits.
Ohio State. That's where those schools go to recruit. He's like, I want to see what my kids are made of. I want to see their toughness. Yeah. I want to see that they're never going to play at school this good for the rest of their life.
Nope. Yeah. And they can always look back and say, like, we played, St. John Bosco. Like,
and you know what? One comment I want to say on that, and I love that I can make references to all these fucking sports, right? Yeah. But Israel Adesanya came out. He came out with his reaction video of UFC 250, Freedom 250. I don't know if you got a chance to watch.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's his foe, Alex Pereira, right?
Yeah.
Always fought, and obviously gets knocked out. But he says these words, bro, and I'm sure I can attest to Eastwood. But dare to be great.
Yeah.
Dare to be
100%,
great,
bro.
And it's like you said, you're not gonna go out there and say you make it out of the first round, right? You're not gonna, and all these schools, like say from the Permian Basin, right? Those schools get tough no matter, even if they have a shitty record, it's like, damn, like they have a shitty record, but they played all the good schools in the Permian Basin and leading up to East Texas, So I applaud Coach Lopez too, bro, because to do that, take some fucking balls, you know, and you just gotta dare to be fucking.
Yeah, I feel like El Paso, like in general, like it's like sports wise, has like this idea that if we get past area, that's a successful season.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yes, although that is great, right? Yeah. That's something to strive for. That shouldn't be the end goal. That should be the measuring stick, right?
Yeah.
Like Coach Lopez is going out of his comfort zone, taking his kids out of their comfort zone to see what they're made of.
Yep.
You go play a team like that, you get smacked in the mouth. All right, who are we gonna play next week? Like, show me what you guys are made of.
Yeah.
Like kind of how we referenced earlier. So like, I love that, dude. Honestly, I know a lot of people are like, it's bad for the kids. You're just fucking, you're putting them down. It's like, nah, bro. Like, I want to see I'm teaching these kids a lesson.
Yeah. It's kind of like taking, I took my boys to Dallas, right, for a baseball tournament. And man, when I say those kids were big, they are big. And these kids, like batter 1 through however many kids they have, are just smashing the ball. And I heard a comment from one of the dads, like, I don't know what he thought bringing them out here. And it's like, no, bro, like, it's a lesson for all of us.
Yeah.
It puts perspective into your mind. Like, yeah, you might be good here locally.
It's a loser mentality, bro.
Yeah, but once you get out there, like, no, like I said, like, dare to be great. Like, and next year, if I get the opportunity, I'll take my kids to Florida, and we're gonna
do it again.
We're gonna do it again.
Yep, exactly.
It's just life lessons that they're gonna learn. That way, by the time they're in high school, they know what to expect.
Exactly.
That's gonna be their floor. Like, playing teams like that is their floor. That's not their ceiling. Yeah. You know what I mean? Stuff
exactly.
like that.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's well said, because at the end of the day, like you're going to see, okay, these kids are 1 through 8 and they're all big. They're all, okay, how can I improve? The pitcher thinks, you know what, I threw a lot of fastballs. It wasn't fast enough. These kids are just smacking it out, right? I threw a lot of all this stuff. Like, okay, what can you work on? That's got to be the mentality is, okay, what can I work on so that I'm better? So next time I play this team, or I play a team that's as good as this, I don't make those same mistakes. I become better, and I get stronger. I get faster. I get better mentality wise. So
I know I've said this before, and this is no disrespect to Diego, but this is probably my favorite pod to date.
I mean, honestly, like that's the goal, right? So every single guest we get on to to get better. To improve as interviewers, and like I'm sure sometimes people are listening like these guys keep fucking saying this, but it's like no,
I appreciate it.
The one thing I do like about this pod, and I was actually gonna interrupt you before you said that. Like, I like that we're not really talking about the questions we have.
Honestly, we've gone off script. So
I love that.
No, it's all right. Yeah, let's keep doing it. Yeah.
So to get back on script just a little bit, we're gonna throw some rapid fire questions at you. And look, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be critical of us right now.
Okay.
We always say rapid fire, and then that shit turns into a fucking 30-minute segment.
Right.
All right. So we're gonna fire these questions off and give us the quickest response.
This is what happens. I just did it to you. We interrupt each other. He'll answer the question, and then you chime in, and then I chime in.
Well, you know what? Yeah, never mind. Just wherever the shit goes, it goes, bro. Right?
All right.
All right. Well,
Am I like put to a limit on like how many words
No,
per thing?
You go.
Okay.
No, you go. You say what you feel, bro.
All right.
We should change the name of the segment. It's not rapid fire. It's just
Rapid fire questions ish.
Ish.
Some shit.
There it is.
Rapid ish fire questions.
Yeah.
There it goes.
All right. Best quarterback of all time.
Who? Tom Brady.
I think we all agree
Love
with that. Yeah.
He's the
Tom
GOAT.
Brady.
Hardest throw you've ever made.
Hardest throw I've ever made. Dang. It's got to be. Man. I don't know. I probably would say there was one that I threw to Mark Torres, and I remember this. We were playing against Coronado. He was guarded heavily, and we got an offsides penalty. We did like a hard count just to freeze. They jumped offsides. I took like a 3-step drop.
Free play.
I threw it, and he was getting hugged by the dude. Caught it one-handed with the guy right on him, like in the back end zone. It was the best throw I've ever made.
So it
in
was
my
one
life.
of those like they kind of switched. Like
We just
you were
switched.
like, fuck it, Mark's out there somewhere. Like,
Yep, exactly.
I'm the quarterback today.
Yeah, and he was the receiver. Yeah, he made
Favorite
me look
NFL
good.
player growing up.
Favorite NFL. Oh man, I have so many, but I'll probably stick with Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
Prime
just
time.
the swag.
Prime time, baby.
Oh yeah, bro.
Two-way guy.
Yep.
One drill every young athlete should do.
The M drill. It's called the M drill in football. But a little tweak to it. It's called the duck walk. Loosens your hips up, your knees, gives you good mobility.
Lord knows I need that shit.
Yep. Always, man. M drills in the duck walk, and you gotta just stay down the whole time.
Once we get off camera, you're gonna be doing some ham drills, Doug.
Yeah.
Please no. One word that describes your mindset. One word.
Unbreakable.
I love that.
Hell yeah.
What's next for Richie Rodriguez?
Oh man, what's next? I think I think I gave that sneak peek away, but it's definitely looking into going and playing for Team Mexico.
Oh yeah.
And we asked this question on the last part, and I feel like it's really relevant. And before I ask this question, I'm wearing the jersey of who I thought was gonna win.
Oh, damn.
Or who I mentioned.
Germany.
So, who's winning the World Cup, bro?
Yeah, man, I can't. I don't want to go against my roots, and I'm going for like USA and Mexico. Those are my teams that I'm going for. But
Yes, sir.
I will probably say it's got to be a powerhouse. Probably like France this year.
Mbappe's too much, bro.
Yeah, Mbappe looks
Looks
good,
good.
You
man.
see those goals he had though?
Yeah, he had 2, right?
That second
Nasty,
one,
bro.
God.
Nasty.
Yeah, he's good. So I'm probably going France.
I don't think people realize how hard it is. Like those balls, like if you kick it in like an inch off the right spot,
boom.
that thing will take off on you. It's so light. You gotta fucking.
You know
drill
what I
that
think
shit.
is so
Pause.
crazy, bro?
You gotta drill that shit. Pause, son.
Oh no,
I
Diddy.
thought
No
he was
Diddy.
a freak.
Diddy.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
I thought he was.
Oh,
He's not
yeah,
going.
I'm the freak.
Shit, I'll hand up right there. Dog. I'll
Yeah.
take that one.
You know what I think is crazy, bro? And again, people don't realize it. It's in every sport, right? Like in baseball, they hit the fucking ball to the shortstop and they just make it look so fucking whatever, right? You see a quarterback like Mahomes, right? Just fucking
Fling
flicking
that
it,
shit out there and
yeah.
just. I'm like,
But in soccer, bro, when they fucking just kick it across the field and these fuckers just fucking landed on their foot.
Yeah, bro.
Like, what the fuck, dog? Like,
bro, I get TikToks of that shit. Like it's specifically like in England and stuff.
Yeah.
And they do like competitions, like like rate this.
Oh, I
and
think
then-
I've seen that, like
bro,
the
those
one
things
touch.
bro, those things, yeah, the one touch.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's crazy
insane.
I have.
athleticism, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
yeah.
is crazy athleticism.
The practice is crazy.
So one good question, now that we're kind of like ending the segment here, is flag football eventually going to become bigger than tackle football for younger athletes?
Oh, I don't want to say that. I mean,
And I say that obviously, like you're getting all these rules implemented now for player safety, right? And
yeah.
obviously, like as a fan, like you want to see the chingazos, right?
Yeah,
But at the end of
yeah.
the day, like as a player, you don't want to take those chingazos. You
No.
know what I mean? So that's where this question stems from. Like, do you think flag football is just going to become the thing to play in the future?
It's definitely trending to a softer, modern flag football almost. Like there's no kickoffs, the helmet, the hits a helmet, stuff like that. They're all implementing, tackling the quarterbacks. It has gotten a lot softer, definitely. And I think you hit it right on the head on the nail. You just said it right there, perfect. It's like we grew up watching all these chingazos and we were like, man, I want to see this dude. Ray Lewis,
Ryan Dawkins, bro.
Brian Dawkins.
Reggie Bush's first when he got hit the first time in the NFL.
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Wasn't it Brian
With the
Dawkins?
Saints.
Yeah.
It was
Brian
against
Dawkins? It was Brian Dawkins that laid
Somebody
it.
like that.
Bro.
Remember that?
Everybody knows where they were when that shit happened.
Yeah, like Troy Polamalu. You saw all these guys coming for people, headhunting, and now it's like, all right, now they have the padding on their helmet.
Yeah, that was my next question.
You hit him above the belly button, it's fucking roughing the passer and shit.
That was my next question. Like, what do you think of the Guardian cap?
I mean, I'm sponsored by this Guardian Loop. It's called Guardian Loop. So shout out to Guardian Loop.
Shout out to Guardian. We're gonna tag you guys in the description.
Yeah, shout out to Guardian Loop. So it's a head protection, and it helps out prevent any concussions, anything like that. It's a padding to prevent that, and I love it. I personally love it. So, and I think it keeps the game in a good spot. You never want to see people get hurt anyways, so you don't want to see people get concussions, and those are scary.
Yeah,
because
bro.
It's to your brain.
Yeah,
you can only take a couple.
You know what I
I
hate?
experienced one recently.
Did you? Oh yeah,
in the trash can.
we won't talk about it unless you want to talk about it. We won't.
the trash can.
That's how it's all types of fucked up, bro.
You should see the other guy.
That trash can will never be the same. I don't know. I gotta get a new lid.
But leading to like injuries and stuff, like I don't care what team it is. It could be like I'm a Cowboy fan, right?
Yeah.
So I can't stand.
Sorry to hear that, bro. Oh, you too. I know you are too, bro.
Yeah,
You're
bro.
a Jets fan.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
yeah.
No, let
Hey,
me give you one back.
Scratch that. I'll sit down. I'll sit this one out, bro.
Yeah.
But it could be any player from any team, you know, and you see them down on the field. And I remember specifically when Dak fucking busted his fucking ankle, dude.
That was
And seeing the comment section, like, yeah, you fucking deserve that. And in my head, I'm like, bro, like, no matter who it is on the field, like when Tua had all those concussions, bro, I'm like, bro, just stop playing ball already, bro.
yeah, bro. I'm so, like, how is he still playing ball right now, bro?
So yeah, you never want to see injuries in any sport, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
I mean, especially in football, bro. Like me, like straight up, I have 2 sons. They ain't gonna play football, bro. And I'll tell you why. I'm 5'7" on a good day.
On a good day.
You know,
Crazy.
like unless my son miraculously grows to be 6'4", 6'5", and is just an absolute beast. All right, go out there and have fun, bro. But if he's undersized, I'm like, bro, at that point, you're not gonna go anywhere in the sport.
If it comes to
And you know, all you can do is just get brain damage, bro. Like I'm already, yo estoy pendejo, güey. Like if my kids are gonna get that from me, like they don't need to lose any more freaking brain capacity, dog.
if
Like,
Dax grows up to be 6'4" plus, I'm gonna have to have a serious talk with Shannon.
yeah, bro, me too.
Yep.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
Shout out Shannon.
Oh man. Yeah, hold on now.
Hold on now.
that kid's your freaking copy.
Nah,
of
that
Prince,
dude's
bro. There's
my
no way.
That dude's my freaking twin, bro. Little kid.
So I know earlier you said your biggest like competition was you, right?
Yeah.
Like you're the only person that you put so much pressure on yourself. Would your 2025 flag football self beat your UTEP football self
In a skills competition.
in the skills competition?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you just wear him down, beat him, because at the end of the day, just the mindset, the grind, and staying true to what, like I said, just staying true and staying on that path and outgrinding him, just realizing that it might not be perfect the first time, the second time, the third time, but if you stay diligent and you keep your head down and you just keep working, it's gonna come across and it's gonna fall in your lap and it's gonna keep coming.
Preach.
And so I think that's always something that it goes back to another one-liner, I guess you could say, right? Matthew McConaughey, he says, like, who's your hero? And it goes, I don't remember what exactly where it was, but I remember it was an acceptance speech and he had just won a reward and they were like, who's your hero? He was like, my hero is like 10 years, me in 10 years. So he meets that guy in 10 years. He's like, are you your hero yet? He's like, no, man. It's in 10 more years. I'm still chasing him in 10 more years.
That's great.
So if we just continue to get better and better every time,
I love that.
we're never gonna be satisfied. 1, 2, we're always gonna become better than what we are right now, and that's always a great thing because there's always room for improvement.
100%. Doesn't matter
Always.
who you are. Doesn't matter who
Always.
you are, but there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
All right, so if you had to start over with no name, no reputation, none of that, what would you do tomorrow?
Andrew.
The Andrew and put a fucking helmet on when you take the trash out. Bro.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know, dog.
No, yeah, definitely. Oh man.
That was good.
Ask me one more time that question, man. Yeah, ask me that question one more
If
time.
you had to start over with no name, no
Okay.
reputation, none of that, what would you do tomorrow?
Man, I am telling you, and this is the honest truth, is I would start with God. God, I think I found that a little bit later in life. It wasn't that I didn't believe in him or I wasn't I didn't choose to follow his word or whatever. It was just I never really got as close.
Yeah.
I never really studied it. I never really put myself in the position to get closer to him. And that would be the first thing is just figure out my plan, that his plan for me. What is it that I have to do? How can I serve him? How is that? Like that would be my first step is no reputation, no nothing. Just what's his plan for me and figure that out and stay on that path.
That's beautiful,
Not
man.
steer off.
Can't say it better.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
It's better than that.
And then the M drill.
and then the next day the M drill,
Yeah,
bro.
and then if he wants me to do the M drill, I'm doing the M drill.
What's one uncomfortable truth young athletes need to hear?
Oh man.
And I feel like nowadays, bro, everybody's like so soft and
Yeah.
everything's given to them, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
I think this is gonna be a question that everyone's gonna have an answer to. Because to say to that, like, you know, what's one uncomfortable truth that young athletes need to hear is that you're not as good as you think you are.
Yeah.
Straight up, there's a lot of parents out there that live vicariously through their kids. Specifically when we talk about sports, dad, mom, whoever the case may be, they did whatever they did in sports, and they think now their kids are gonna follow in their footsteps and just be better than them or as good as them, and they kind of hang that over their kids, and they kind of maybe let it blind them to, what it is. Sports is supposed to be for young kids. It's supposed to be fun, bro.
Yeah.
Like I look at genuinely, bro. You can attest to this. We've known each other for a very long time. I'm one of the most competitive people in the fucking world, dude.
Yeah.
Like, comes to freaking flipping a coin, I don't want to lose. I don't want to be wrong. And becoming a father, bro, and actually like learning that is like was the biggest thing that I feel like I learned, like becoming a father when it came to sports specifically. It's like, dude, just let your kids have fun.
Yep.
My kid played baseball for you
Yep.
for how many seasons?
Yep.
And one day to the next, he's like, hey, Dad, I don't want to play baseball anymore. I'm a baseball guy, dude. That shit hurt,
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to play basketball. I'm like, you know what, son? You wanted to freaking be a painter tomorrow, dude. Like, I'm going to support you and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of on a tangent, but, kids need to understand, like, there's always work to be done. There's always more you can be better at. Don't just be, quote unquote, El Paso good.
Yeah.
Strive to be number 2 quarterback in the freaking nation, in the world, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Strive for things like that. There's always more, like Richie said earlier, like Brandon said, you can always do more, you can always get better. So, like, just humble yourself in that respect. I'm not saying do not completely discredit yourself. I'm not saying that either. Understand that you're good. No one else needs to know it, but in between your ears, understand like what you bring to the table and what kind of skills you bring to the table. But always remember yourself, humble yourself, and tell yourself, I'm not as good as I think I am. I can always be better. I guarantee you'll attain a lot more things with that kind of mindset than than another mindset where like, my shit don't stink and I'm good enough now.
Yeah.
Yes. And before we let the person we asked this question to.
Yeah. I felt like I had to make a moment there.
You got your moment, dog.
I had to feel like to make a moment there, bro. I'm sorry. I apologize. Hands
This is
up.
your guys' podcast. This is what you
I'm
do.
not as good as I think I am at this shit, bro.
I feel like you hit the nail on the head with that one, dude. Is just because you had one good game doesn't define your season.
No,
Just
man.
because you made one good play doesn't define your whole career. Like, you got to do that consistently.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that, like their kids do good one game and then they want everything given to them. And it's like, no, these kids got to do that
Consistently.
on a consistent basis in
Yeah.
order to be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why the greats are the greats, because they consistently do everything right.
Yeah.
We talked about the best quarterback ever, Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
Did it year after year after year after year. And the thing is, like, I guarantee you, like, in his mind, day one of training camp, he was like, I want to win the Super Bowl. And you don't win it by playing one good game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the rant I had my moment. Richie, go ahead, answer the question we asked.
The floor is
Right,
yours,
right,
my
right,
boy.
right.
The floor is yours.
Right. Yeah. Just the mentality that the kids have to have is there's always somebody better than you. You always got to think like that. Always think, there's somebody that's always chasing you, that's getting closer to you. Whether you are, sleeping in, there's, it's a summer day and you're sleeping in. You know what? There's probably somebody that is chasing you, working out at 6 a.m. There's probably somebody that's better than you that's sleeping in. How do you get that advantage? Now, you know what? Let me work out.
It's kind of like that Kobe Bryant thing,
Yeah.
right?
I'm up at 4 a.m. Now I'm up at 4 a.m. I work out at 6 a.m. I work out at 10 a.m. I work out at 12. He's like, I got 4 workouts before you got your second workout. It's like, that's how you get better.
Yep.
And, and that's the mentality that you got to have is there's always somebody better than you and there's always somebody that's chasing you. Always. So if you just stay and you stay in that same spot and you're content with what you've done and having one good game, you're going to stay like that. And you're just going to be that one hit wonder. You're going to be that one game wonder. Instead, you'd rather, you know what, how do I build off that? How do I consistently continue to do that? How do I feel confident at the plate, at a free throw line, when the game's on the line? How do I make that catch over somebody? How do I make that throw? It's just, you got to continue to do the right things, the little things. And like when nobody sees, that's when the games are won. And that's what people need to realize, is that's the uncomfortable truth is, you know, there's always somebody better and there's always somebody chasing you.
And I always love telling my son that is after a game, I'm like, cool, bro, today's over.
Yep.
Like, grab that one, throw it away.
Mhm.
You know, tomorrow's a new day. What are you going to do tomorrow? You know?
The midnight rule.
Yeah, the midnight rule, how
Diego was
talking about. Whether it was a good game or a bad game, he could go 5 for 5, 10 RBIs, cool, whatever. Hey, that day's over, bro. But then the next day, what if you go for 4?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like it's always that midnight rule. You got to just grab it, throw it away. Don't be content. And you said it perfectly, bro. Like, there's always someone behind you. There's always someone in front of you. As long as you keep moving, so is your skill ability.
Yep.
I think that's a great question and answer to end on, bro. And just, I want to give you the opportunity, if you have any other sponsors or anything, people that you want to shout out, now's your chance.
You know, shout out to the people that believe in me, that's always believed in me. The people that have put in work with me on the daily, that have, you know, have seen me struggle, that have been there for me. You know, whether it's just life in general or if it's on the field, you know. Obviously, I've had my mom, my dad, my brother. You know, I have my daughter now. So there's no need for us to stay content with anything, and we always got to keep moving and keep putting our best foot forward. And I'm excited. I'm excited for 2026, the rest of it, 2027. There's a lot of things that I still have to accomplish in this life, and I'm excited. And I know I'm going to continue to surround myself with the right people. And, you know, that is something that I'm looking forward to, and just building a great relationship with God and keep getting closer with Him, and understanding that I'm a child of God first before anything. And then after that, I'm a great father, and then I'm a great football player. I could be whatever else after that. But those are the main two things that I want to focus on. And, you know, so those people in my life, and, you know, I want to shout out the people that have stuck with me to the highs, to the lows. You know, you even mentioned it, like Ariel. Ariel's always been a big person in my corner. I'll shout her out. I don't even want to, but I'll shout her out. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll cut that out.
We'll cut that, Ariel. My
Yeah,
bad.
cut that out, please. But yeah, she's a big inspiration too for me, and she's just always, she keeps me down and modest and humble, and she's always been there for me. And so just like that with my mom, you know, obviously we've grown up with each other. You know how my mom is. My mom's, it's my best friend.
Yep.
You know, she's always there for me, even when I'm wrong, when I'm right. She tells me how it is. So it's the type of person, it's the type of person she is. But
Mama Bear will do that, man.
yeah,
100%.
but she's always in my corner, and I know there's a certain amount of people I can count on, just like my little brother. We both got the same. Our little brother's got the same name, Jacob. Yeah, so they grew up together too. So playing. Shout out to him. Shout out to my good friends. You know, but yeah, that's about it.
And honestly, you know, as a friend, you know, we go way back. It's you know, reading all your accolades and seeing the person you become, the father you become, like, it makes me happy, man. Honestly, I'm very, very proud of you. I hope you continue to succeed in anything you know put your mind to. I honestly think next year's your year as far as Team USA goes, knowing the kind of person you are. You know, you've done it. You've tried out twice and you've come up a little bit short, but you've improved. You went from the 7th ranked QB in the world to the 2nd in just a year.
Yeah.
So I think that number 1 guy is in for a rude awakening that come next year. I think you're gonna get that done, and when you do, we'll revisit this pod and, you know, let everybody know that Tailgate Talk said it first.
Sorry, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, Mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Honestly, man.
Appreciate it.
Any flag football athletes out there, get in contact with Richie. On the Grind is gonna take over flag football here locally. I know it. This is the best guy you guys can learn from. You know, he's the 2nd best quarterback in the world when it comes to flag football. He's very dedicated. He's played football at every single level there is to play, and you guys will learn a lot from him. So we're gonna link his Instagram profile in the description. We're gonna tag him here, everything, And yeah, do you have anything else?
No, man, just to go off what Chris said, man. Like I'm very amazed of everything you've done, and honestly, I say this every time we come on the pod. You know, whether baseball, softball, whatever the case may be. Like I look forward to seeing what you're gonna do. You know, like now I'm gonna tap into what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like now I want to see whether it's Team USA or whether it's Team Mexico, whether you're playing pro flag football or whether it's just being a great dad, bro.
Yeah.
I love seeing that. And like you said, man, I haven't known you. I've met you 2 hours ago, but
Yeah.
I'm very proud of the man you are, bro. And I love
Appreciate
how you talk about God and how you're a child of God. And God is good, man.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. And just continue with your success, man. It was a pleasure meeting you. We love having you on the pod.
I appreciate
think,
it.
like I said, no disrespect to any of the other pods we had, but this is my favorite one.
I
because
appreciate that.
it becomes one of those things where, like, now we're connected, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we've shared some time. We've had some good laughs. And the energy you give out, bro, is absolutely amazing. And that's how I judge people, bro. Like, I'm a barber, right?
Yeah.
And I feed off energy.
Yeah.
Energy. And you give out great energy, bro. So
Appreciate
I know
that.
God's going to give you everything you want, bro.
I
I
appreciate
know it
that.
for a fact.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and I take with great honor that it's your favorite podcast so far. So far, yeah. I hope it stays for a little bit. It stays like that for a little bit. But I know you guys get great guests every time, so you know I can't hold that expectation too long. I know.
And then, like Chris said, bro, like we tell our guests this all the time. Like you can come on whenever you want.
Yeah.
The next time we've already covered all your accolades. You
Yeah.
know? The next time we could just sit here and shoot the
We'll
shit
shoot the
about
shit about
everything and
sports,
anything.
bro.
Let's do it.
And just be guys. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just be guys. Talk about the World Cup. Say maybe 3 months from now, you picked France.
I pick France.
You picked
France.
France. I picked Germany. We'll see where that lined up. We could talk about closer to the NFL. You know, shit like that. Also, just to know, bro, you're always welcome on the pod.
No, I
Yes, sir.
appreciate that.
Always, man.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
But yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Let's make this freaking podcast go freaking viral. You know,
And he brought up a good point. We're at 55 subscribers.
yes.
Which I think is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, but when we get to 100, we're gonna have a special treat.
Yeah,
for
we're
the
gonna
100.
think of something for our 100th subscriber. You guys are gonna get a nice little treat. So you guys keep subscribing, keep liking our stuff, and keep sharing it on social medias. We appreciate it.
It's the fucking M drill.
Here's your prize, guys. You got to do the M drill with Mr. Richie Rodriguez.
It's the M drill, motherfucker.
Oh man.
Like, comment, subscribe, guys. We'll see you guys later. Shout out to the M drill, bro.
We were tailgate talking on a Sunday afternoon. So let's call up the boys, bring a case or two, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. I know we were tailgate talking on a Sunday afternoon.